It's a great pleasure to invite on stage our keynote speaker. He is an executive manager in Huawei for nearly 2 decades, university background in management and economics, and working experiences in various global brands. He has deep insight in the ICT industry and great knowledge in digital transformation. He served as sales director at Huawei Netherlands, CEO in Huawei Portugal, managing director for enterprise business in Huawei Germany, and now is the CEO of Huawei Nigeria. If there was ever a poll for the best looking speaker at our tech conference, he will take 2 awards. He's an all-around great guy, and it's a pleasure to have him here on stage with us. Please do make welcome Chris Liu. Let's show him some Nigerian love. There we go. It might also interest you to know that Huawei is ranked the world's 23rd best employer in 2022 according to Forbes.
So ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. I'm so excited to join today's Zenith Tech Fair 2023. And I very much agree with what Dr. Ebenezer just said earlier, that you should either be a technology company or be a company using technology. And I think that is the very same reason we see Zenith Bank as a financial giant is organizing today's tech fair. It's bringing high-tech companies, fintech institutions, startups, and many, many other players together so that we can openly share our ideas, talk about opportunities, and together we create future-forward thinking. And that is the reason I think we should have a big round of applause to Zenith Bank for this great initiation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And also personally, I would like to say big thanks to Dr. Jim Ovia, the founder of Zenith Bank, Dr. Ebenezer, the group MD and CEO, and all the management of Zenith Bank. Thank you for your invitation. I really feel great to join it. So last year, ladies and gentlemen, I talked about 5G and shared my personal opinion. What can 5G bring us in our daily life as well as business? And this year, the main theme is about artificial intelligence. So just now, we had the opportunity to hear from our Honorable Minister, Dr. Boson Tijani, and I really appreciate his leadership, because in such short time, he gave us a very clear strategic plan for the ministry as well as for digital economy. Also, he outlined the ambition of developing artificial intelligence, and he personally called out and summoned all the AI players together and then contribute for the development. So therefore, personally, I believe with the right leadership, with a clear policy, we are able to have all the AI players coming from different pillars, and then together we can create much more value for different industries and verticals. So of course today I will also be sharing what we are thinking that AI can benefit and bring value to industries. But before that, let me start with a very interesting topic. Let me ask all of you today here, have you ever heard a word called ChatGPT? Can you raise your hand? Well, I assume almost everybody heard about this. Right? So this is really interesting. It's very interesting. But many people were asking, hey, it's nice, it's a chatbot. We can have conversation with it. But what is the big deal? Because we already got used to say, okay, Google, hey, Siri, right? I'm not sure if I'm waking up some of your smartphones. But, I mean, this is all normal. So why ChatGPT is so different? Actually, this game started 70 years ago. Back to 1950, the famous scientist Alan Turing already initiated a challenge that was called the imitation game, which basically encouraged the programmer to make a machine that can talk with you online. And if you feel as if you're talking with a real human instead of a machine, that means this machine is really intelligent. So obviously, this is a very interesting topic, and many computer scientists joined this challenge. So we had the very first chatbot from 1966 that was created by MIT, and the name was Eliza. Basically, MIT wants to position Eliza as kind of psychotherapist. So she will talk less, but listen more. So kind of cheat you, make you feel that she's a real human. In the beginning, it was a very preliminary technology. Basically, they input keywords. Like if you ask something that has a keyword of your mom, your son, then Eliza will reply you and ask you, hey, can you tell me more about your family, right? So it's kind of like if, then, this kind of pattern. So therefore, it's a very preliminary stage. Later on, there was more development, but within 30 years, it was basically the same methodology. You create a lot of if-then, put a lot of keywords, and then the machine can reply you with some kind of relevant answers. Even today, we still see many e-commerce companies. If you buy something online, you want to chat with the customer service chatbot. If you input a keyword like refund, the chatbot will automatically reply you with a refund process. We cannot say this is intelligent. However, it indeed relieves a lot of manual work. Then things evolved into 2001, where we had another chatbot that was much smarter. It is called Smarter Child. And this time, we had a different technology called machine learning, meaning you don't have to manually input all the keywords, all the patterns yourself. The machine can start learning by itself. Obviously, the speed was very slow and it was not smart enough. However, we also have to understand, back then, the computing power was very weak. Right? The data was not sufficient, because if you want to make good machine learning, you need two conditions. One is feeding him with enormous number of data, and secondly, you have super powerful computing machine. And then things evolve like artificial neural networks, and then later transformer. So therefore, we had better and better architecture, better and better platforms, and also today, we had enormous powerful CPU, GPU. So we had the right platform, right technology, we had the right computing power, and we also have enormous data from the internet. So what is lacking is obviously investment. And that is why OpenAI, which is the mother company of ChatGPT, was created with 4 major investors, including the CEO, Sam Altman, and also the famous Elon Musk. Right? Obviously, Elon Musk later left, and the CEO, Sam, also left OpenAI and joined Microsoft a few days ago. But that's how capital market works. The important thing is they injected $1 billion. They bought a big bunch of computers, superpower, and generated a lot of data for machine learning, which made it so easy now. And that is how we could have ChatGPT today. And of course, we play with it, right? Imagine today, I am invited for a speech for Zenith Tech Fair. I can simply tell ChatGPT, hey, please write a keynote speech for Zenith Tech Fair event. The main theme is artificial intelligence. So within seconds, really in seconds, we see this machine, this boy is feeding me back with hell a lot of contents. So there you go. I just had a keynote speech coming from ChatGPT. Isn't it amazing? Right? So there you go. I have the speech. I can do with it without my own preparation. Is it? For sure. If we look into the details, we might find a lot of inaccuracy, so we still have to work on ourselves. But anyway, this is very, very interesting. So we all enjoyed it, and we had a lot of fun. However, if the industries spend so much money, so much resource in developing AI, obviously our target is not only to have fun. I mean, have fun is very nice, but not only have fun. Our ultimate target is to empower industries and boost economy, like Dr. Ebenezer also mentioned earlier today. So that is why a few weeks ago, OpenAI also organized a development day where they encourage all the developers, please join us, make full use of the capacity of ChatGPT and develop your applications for industries so we can really create value instead of only having fun. The same, Google also is doing that, and obviously Huawei is also working on that. What we were doing was not really targeting the consumers, but from day one, we were very much focused on industries. So therefore, we created our Huawei Pangu AI model, which consists of 3 different layers. The very basic level, we call it level 0, that is foundation models, which consists of 5 very important but basic foundation models. The first one, NLP, we call it natural language processing. It's actually very easy, right? When you speak to your smartphone, your voice can be recognized by the machine and translated into language so the machine can understood. Later on, when the machine calculate, it will also feedback you the answer and translate it into real voice that you could understand. So that is how natural language processing model is working. It works everywhere for all different scenarios and industries. Now the second one is called a CV model, which is computer vision. It's also very easy. Imagine you upload a photo, you upload a PDF, a video, so the machine can identify the content and tell you what are the letters on the PDF, what are the pictures, and for example, the camera is shooting the speed driver with a car plate, and that is how it works. So besides the level 0 foundation models, we also go to industries, where this is very important because for each industry, we need specific requirements and scenarios, and that is how we work with different industry experts like Zenith in the financial sector and many, many other players try to figure out what is the AI beneficial for each specific industry. And followed by that, we have also a lot of out-of-box scenario models that can be easily used by many developers. So therefore, as we say, we were, from day one, focused on business, and we want to tackle the really biggest challenges. And now I'm going to tell some of that, what we were doing. The first industry we were talking about was automotive industry. Right? This is the industry which we hope to use AI and empower the efficiency from design to production to marketing to sales, and very importantly, autonomous driving. This is obviously the biggest challenge we are facing for the future. So let me ask all of you guys, do you really believe that in the future, autonomous driving will become real in our daily life? Do you agree? Say yes or no? I personally also agree. Thank you very much. Of course, if we want to have real autonomous driving, besides technologies like radar, LiDAR, mobile data centers, and so on, a very important topic is driving test. Why? Because we need tens of thousands of vehicles running on the streets, collecting data, or like hundreds of thousands kilometers per vehicle, and that is tremendously challenging. So let me explain what we were doing for driving test in a small video. So ladies and gentlemen, it looks nice, huh? Looks very nice. However, what I want to tell you is I was literally sitting in that specific car, and I can tell you the experience was kind of mixed. Because in the beginning, I felt thrilled sitting in that car, feeling I'm like a big boss, sitting in a car that can drive itself. How cool is that? But very soon, I became nervous. I became nervous because when I see people crossing the street, I was like, hey buddy, slow down, right? Hey bro, stop, you're about to hit that guy. So I was nervous. Even though the whole process was very smooth, the car accelerated and stopped as like a human being is driving it, very smooth. But still I was wondering, hey, what if I hit somebody? Will it be my responsibility because I am the human sitting in the car? Or it is the car's problem because I'm not driving it, right? So this was a really million difficult question. And by the end of the drive test, I was totally wet because I was so nervous. And this is the drive test we're talking about. Actually, 5 years ago, there was a fatal accident happened in Arizona where Uber self-driving car was testing on the street and it hit a pedestrian with bicycle, which caused fatal death. And that caused a lot of legal and moral issues. So therefore, now we have a big challenge. On the one side, every one of you believe that autonomous driving will become real. Therefore, we need a lot of driving tests to feed the machine for learning. But on the other side, we also face legal, moral questions. So how can we do about it? And that is why we think AI could step in. So what we did is instead of having so many cars on the street, terrifying citizens, we use on the left side, which is a real scenario, we collect the data and put it and mirror it into a digital twin, which is basically a virtual environment in the cloud, but it's so real. And in the middle side, you can see that we create this virtual environment in the cloud so that we can make driving tests by AI tirelessly, 24/7, working on it. And we can easily create all kinds of weather conditions, raining day, sunny day, snowing day. And even interesting, on the right side, you can see it's the same environment, but you see a slightly different view. Why is that? Because you might be driving an SUV, or you might be driving a passenger car, so your view will be different. And this is the way we can use AI to really make driving tests much more easier. So therefore, you don't have to send so many cars on the street, terrifying people, but you put them into the computer in the cloud, where AI can make full use of their power, computing power, and then calculate, make machine learning. So this is the beauty of AI in one nutshell. Now, we are already confident about this technology, but are we daring to use it on the street of a city? Definitely no. Because if you use that, what if an accident happens? That's a big disaster. So we cannot use it in the city, but however, we could selectively use it in certain closed environment. And that is the next scenario I want to show to all of you. Imagine we use AI and autonomous driving in a closed environment, like a mining area or a port, where you don't have normal citizens in there, right? You only have professional staff in it. Therefore, we can easily use 5G to connect the heavy truck with the data center and then use AI to control automatically. Imagine you can use the truck 24/7, maybe only half an hour for refueling and maintenance, and that's it. So this truck will work for you tirelessly in a closed environment. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it creative? Isn't it nice, right? So this is what we are thinking to implement technology in a real scenario and make full use for the industry. Now, beyond that, we also went with the miners underground. So we sent a bunch of experts because we think, although we are a technology company, but we have no clue about their industry, so we should be humble and learn from them and see how we can help them. That's why we went underground to the mines. We carefully learned all their processes from mechanized mining, excavation, electromechanics, and transportation, ventilation. So we can try to use AI in all different processes in the mining industry, whereas if we can improve the safety and also productivity in mining industry. So here's one example. In mining industry, we have to make a lot of coal washing and separation. So there are many elements like coal seams, coal seasons, ash content, process parameters, and we try to implement AI to support in dynamic optimization, accurately predict ash content, the value of refined coal, and realize precise control of real-time adjustment of washing liquid density. So by using AI, we improved the productivity by 8,000 tons per month for a specific mining industry. So this is what we do and improve their process by powering their technology. Maybe many friends think mining industry is a traditional, conventional industry. What can technology help them? And this is what we want to try to help them and see that we can create value together. Now let's move forward. Right? We talk about weather model in AI. So in June this year, Nature magazine published a paper from Huawei that is called Pangu Weather Model, which received a very wide recognition from the industry. Followed by that, the European Weather Forecast Center cooperated with our AI and successfully prevented a cold wave in Finland. And then also we calculated the trace of super typhoon Solar, which was just so accurate compared with all the other traditional forecast model. And what is even more interesting is that if you compare, previously we might need 3,000 servers calculating 5 hours for a forecast. Nowadays, we need only 10 seconds coming from cloud and AI. And that is great saving for the resource that is required for weather forecast. We're quite proud of that. But however, I mean, the typhoon is one scenario. The cold wave is another disaster. There are many, many other types of disastrial weather conditions that we have to tackle together. We're talking about rainstorm, drought, tornado, sandstorm. Take rainstorm, for example. There are many elements like cloud movement, humidity, topography, and also landform, which many of them are interacting them each other together. So how can we use AI to improve it? I think is easy to think about because, first of all, we input and feed the AI with the past 40 years of data from the weather forecast in the meteorological industry. We also input 10 years of past satellite imagery regarding rainstorm. So with such huge, enormous data, the machine is running day and night, which eventually can give us a much better forecast. The accuracy improved 20%, and we could easily forecast the disaster 24 hours in advance and also 6 hours. Right now, we open our database to all the global weather forecast institutions and encourage everyone to use it for free, and we can together improve the forecast into next level. So this is what we are thinking for weather forecast industry. There are many other industries. For example, let's talk about the next one, which is healthcare. So every year, the scientist needs to spend enormous efforts in developing a new medicine and having a lot of tests, even by human tests. This is very costly and very expensive. So why not we use AI to help accelerating the process? For example, we feed AI with 1.7 billion natural compounds and then generate 100 million new compounds so as to speed up the process of development and shorten the test period. So this is what I'm thinking about health industry, that empowering them with AI model. What else is the R&D? Nowadays, having a qualified R&D engineer is not an easy thing because you need a strong knowledge and experience in the past, especially in the coding area. Writing code is easy, but writing a good code is very difficult. So therefore, we use AI to make things much more easier. What we want to achieve is that, What we want to achieve is that one click that we can help the R&D engineers to make really great coding. One click can help them with test case and auto-commenting. So this is what we would want to try and help the R&D engineers to save their time and make better programming using the artificial intelligence. The next one, I believe you've already seen, that is about the city management, right? So we talked so much about smart city concept, where we basically use all kinds of sensors to collect data to the central office of the government, whereas the decision and instruction are still made manually. But how about we use AI to tackle those easy and simple tasks? If you had a rainstorm yesterday and you have trees falling on the street, you don't necessarily have to have a manager to check one by one and give instructions. You could use AI to automatically screen all the images within seconds and then output the instructions to the city workers. And that is much more efficient than before. Now, we talk about agriculture. Whereas AI can help agriculture, we believe the first point can be utilizing the land resource, right? We have enormous, very rich land resource everywhere, but how to make full use of it in a very efficient way? This is where AI can help in farmland, increasing the productivity by improving crop planning, avoid natural disasters, and decrease the crop disease. And beyond that, if we have so much crops, where should we sell? What price should we sell? And that's something AI can also assist in supporting the marketing and sales process in global market. And that's something I truly believe we could explore a lot with partners together. And obviously, the last part, we should talk about our finance industry. Because today, we have so many financial experts and bankers sitting here together. I mean, everybody sees the industry that last year, we had also the speaker talk about Bank 4.0, right? From the Bank 1.0, traditional financial services, into Bank 2.0, where we have all the mobile applications on our smartphones. to lifestyle finance, and then eventually all scenario financial services, which I believe that Zenith Bank is going very fast. On the other side, if we see the architecture, it's also very separated. In the beginning, we had siloed construction, which we have one type of infrastructure supporting only one service, like we have big mainframe, right? It was great, but it only supported the core banking in one scenario, where we used to have other machines and infrastructures supporting different purposes. So therefore, we moved to phase one, where all the banks are transforming themselves to have a virtualization and a container, where you have a common purpose infrastructure that can support all different purposes of service and applications. And followed by that, we have also the service agility in phase two, which we use microservice to serve more customized requirement for our consumers and enterprises. And eventually, of course, we have the phase three, which is integrate AI into application and modernize with our services. Whereas if you can open your mobile application, you might see different customized recommendation and service because the AI can support you in a much better way. Now,
I'm Ziva.
We all know
Zenith
Ziva, right?
Intelligent Virtual Assistant.
The Zenith
What would you like
Intelligent
to do today?
Virtual Assistant,
I can help
which
you
is a
open
perfect
Zenith Bank
example
account,
that how
check your
Zenith
account
Bank
balance,
utilize
transfer
AI
funds to any
to
bank
provide
account in Nigeria,
better customer service
transactions
and
in your account,
improve the
log
efficiency of
dispense errors,
communication.
other challenges,
And I believe in the
buy airtime
future,
or data,
there are many
and
new
so much more.
user cases can be seen from the market. Of course, we talk about real-time risk control. Right? Imagine if you just logged in your mobile application in Lagos, and 1 hour later, there was a record that you want to pay by your card in Abuja. This must be suspicious. So instead of manually identify these issues, we could have AI to automatically identify and contact you, hey, is anything wrong with your bank account, with your card? So this kind of real-time risk control can be supported by AI as well. So after talking so much about different applications in different scenarios and industries, we also have to talk about security. Right? There are many scientific novel and also movie which told us, hey, in the future, might the robots can control human being? I mean, it's a joke, but it's also a serious thing that we have developed AI in the future with an eye on it, that we have to always make sure that it is in line with our expectation and we control fully for the AI. So therefore, if we talk about go to AI, use AI capacity, the easiest way is to go to public cloud, where there are many service providers, not only Huawei, but also Amazon, Microsoft, they all provide the service. Of course, if you want to use your sensitive data, your critical information, you might want to have a on-premise private cloud, like what the government, what the ministry had for the Galaxy Cloud, which is a government-owned, government-operated safe cloud. So there are many topics which we have to tackle along the safety, but I personally believe that let us to develop AI first and alongside with the regulation, so we can make full use of AI while we still control it step by step. Eventually, in today's keynote speech, I want to also share my personal opinion that, first of all, if we talk about AI, we need the right infrastructure. That is basically the computing power. We should have heterogeneous computing power, not only x86, but also ARM and many other types of computing power as a foundation. But also we need connectivity, 4G, 5G, fiber, because if you have no connectivity, there's no use of AI, because your data cannot be transmitted to the cloud, and there's no help from the cloud be transmitted to you. So therefore, having the right connectivity and the computing power as a foundation is very essential. On top of that, we have to go to industries where all the industrial players, especially the real experts in financial sector, where I see so many financial experts sitting down here, right? They really understand how this industry works. And then if we work together by bringing industrial expertise with technology, we might create a lot of innovation. And that is also the very reason why I believe the Zenith Tech Fair is so important, because we have all players coming from different backgrounds and different corners, where we can share ideas and collaborate together, create a much better future, together create future forward. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's my sharing. Thank you. Thank you.